All right, so with that, we're going to have our first presenter come up. So we have Ms. Chappelle Brown, our teacher librarian for Sweetwater High School. So she's going to come present to us on different pieces of information in regards to the library and different resources that we not only have available to our students, but for our families as well. So, Ms. Chappelle Brown, you have the floor.
Hello, hi, welcome. Hola. Okay, so somebody's translating for me. So what I want to say, the library is a resource. Everybody is welcome here. And when your kids come through the door, Miss Nuno, I don't know if you see her, but she's the other person who works here. We work as a team to help get the kids through. Miss Nuno, you need to come here. Where are you? Good morning. So people can see you. What's wonderful about Miss Nuno, she's been here longer than me. She knows the library and she knows your kids. Okay? This is her. Come on up. We just want you to come up here. So Miss Nuno is bilingual, and this is wonderful because she is the face of the library. A lot of times I'm doing behind the scenes things, working with the teachers on projects and researching things. She mans the circulation desk. She takes care of our library. So you'll see her, and if they have a problem with laptops or anything, you'll see her probably before you see me. So we work as a team because that's how it rolls, okay? So I want you to know who she is. I put her phone number down on the paper. You guys see the paper?
Yeah, I got it right.
Okay, so you have a problem, you can call her, you can call me, and we will help you. So her number is there too, okay? So that's important that all the parents know that, okay? All right, so we're here to help your kids, okay? So that we're here to serve them. So when they come in before school. The library is open at 6 a.m. in the morning. This woman is here for your kids that early. All right, every morning. Okay, she's here. So we need to applaud her. So when I walk through the door, I know she has it. Okay, so that's important. So at the end of the day, I'm here at the end of the day when they come for after school. Okay, so if they come and say they get assigned a homework assignment and they come and have to use these computers after school, these are brand new computers. We have some more along the windows for your children, okay? So we're trying to provide resources so that the kids can come in and get the best grades possible. And with that said, on here it says, thank you, Ms. Nuno. So with that said, I'm encouraging students to read 30 minutes every day, all right? My mother was not a well-educated mom, but she was very supportive. She was very supportive. My dad was a first-line supervisor that worked for the Xerox Corporation. It was back in the 60s when Xerox started to hire people of color. My dad was a first-line supervisor. He had to wear a white shirt. Before, he used to pick apples. He came to New York I'm from New York, by the way. He came to New York from Georgia, Florida, as a migrant worker. My dad picked apples. That's how he got to New York, because upstate New York is rich in apples. New York State, the apple state, right? Empire State, okay, Empire apples, right? So that's how he came to New York. So he worked really hard. He became a first-line supervisor at Xerox. He was one of the first black African Americans at Xerox Corporation. He has a strong work ethic, very strong work ethic. So I say to you, families, okay, because I think our heritage is very similar, okay? And on Wednesday night, there was a young lady who came in after school to do community service. We did a display out there, and on your way out, you might see it on the left. Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday is on January 15th. Me and another student actually did a display out there, and we were talking about our histories, which are very similar, and we were talking about Cesar Chavez and how he helped people get better working conditions, how he helped the state of California treat people of color better when they were picking grapes, right? Okay, so he helped. Okay, so I think this holiday, Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday, is very similar. We all share a similar background. All right, so when kids come in here, we try to encourage our kids when they come into the library to do their very best. So encourage your students to come into the library and come to school every day. Every day come to school, do their very best in school, and if they don't understand something, to ask questions. Okay? When they come and see Ms. Nuno or me at the circulation desk, and we're not too busy, this library is a very busy library. We serve 2,700 kids. But I will not walk out this door if a kid comes in here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and says, Mrs. Brown, I have a project. I had a girl Monday night. She came in and she had to write an essay for, she got a full ride to go to some school in Colorado and she had an essay due. Okay, so I should have went home, but I said, no, what time do you need? We left here, they made an announcement at 4:45 that we had to close because the building was closing. But she stayed to do her essay. So you have somebody who's supportive of your kids right here, whether they pay me or not. Okay? So I want you to know that. All right, so you need to provide a quiet place for them to study. You need to provide some time for them to get their homework. And the library can do that after school. Okay, we can provide that quiet time for them, but there should be quiet times at home. And the reading is so important for kids to get the academic language. Can people say academic language? It is so important because the academic language is the language that there are in textbooks. All right, the academic language is the language that they're going to see in textbooks here in high school as well as when they go to college. So that academic language is so important. And the reading, okay, so Mrs. Brown is a teacher librarian. The reading is so important to develop that academic language. All right, 30 minutes of reading every day. And I say this sometimes with the girls, I don't care if it's a magazine. I don't care if it's a cookbook. I don't care if it's a graphic novel. I just want them reading. Because the reading develops academic language. I know some of our teachers think that we should push Shakespeare on our kids. But I'm thinking, if my kid can't read, I want my kid to want to read the things that they're interested in reading so that they will read. So we are trying to bring in more resources in our library to encourage more reading. Because the reading will change things in their lives. Because I'm a witness to what reading can do. I grew up in a poor inner city place in Rochester, New York. But we had a public library around the corner from where I live. When I was 15 years old, guess who went to work in the library? Me. Okay? So I worked in the library for 6 years part-time, 2 years in high school and 4 years in college. I graduated with honors. It gave me an opportunity to go to graduate school. I got a full ride to go to graduate school because of the reading. The reading makes a difference. If nothing else, you remember, the reading makes a difference. So we have to encourage our kids to read. I was talking to this lady right here this morning. I went to see my mother in New York for Christmas. And my mom is going blind. She's losing her sight. So what happens is, she asked me to help with a problem. She's not computer literate. Mom didn't learn how to use the computer. Okay? So she doesn't know. So the people on the phone was saying they're going to send her a bill on the computer because they were going green. Well, I said, you can't go green with this lady because she can't read it, and plus she doesn't know how to use the computer. So I said, you have to send her a bill. So I got my credit card out, and I paid for the bill. It was overdue, and I paid for the bill with my credit card for Mom. Okay? All right? So I think some other people might be having a similar problem. So our school, we have gone to a one-to-one laptop adoption. So see this laptop right here? your kids, if they're in 9th grade or 10th grade or 11th grade, can get a computer if you sign for it. And I have seen some of these forms come back. So this is the permission slip for it. Why this is important. Our principal, she's trying to bring the students up to par, trying to make sure that they're ready for that next level. In order for the students to be ready for that next level, they have to be computer literate. They can't be like my mom. My mom is 80 years old, okay? She's retired, so she doesn't need these skills anymore. But your kids do, all right? So if you didn't sign this year, why it's important is because a lot of companies are going green, meaning they won't send out bills for her, it was for Frontier, similar to, what would be similar to out here? Cost Communication, something like that. So, you know, so they wanted to send her an email with the bill, but she couldn't get the bill, right? Because she doesn't use email, right? So if the kids need to have these skills because the world expects them to have these skills. Does that make sense? All right. So it's not because we're trying to change education so much, but the world around us is changing. So we have to make sure that we give our children, our students, the tools to be successful. So when we saw some of these come back and they said, I do not want my child to have a laptop. But the only problem with that is then the students won't learn the skills that they need to be able to have to be successful at Sweetwater High School and beyond. All right? So that's why the laptops are important. And I know it's a financial burden because I know myself, when I was in high school, for $500, that would have been crazy for my parents because that's why I worked when I was in high school because I had to help. I had to help. So my dad said, if you want to go to college, you have to help me, young lady. It's not a free ride. You have to work for it. That's what my dad told me. So I went to work. So it's important to realize that the kids need these skills. Okay, we have a lot of resources for our kids here, and I see that they put the, and this is what I'll talk about this next time, but this is more important. If your child does not have a laptop for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, a lot of our teachers are trying to teach them the skills that they need to be successful when they go to college. If they're going to San Diego State, if they're going to Southwestern, if they're going to Palomar College or Cal State San Marcos, wherever they're going, they need these skills. So that's why the laptops are important. So if you can sign the form for your child to get a laptop, that will make it easier for them in their classrooms because that's what the teachers are trying to get them up to speed so they won't be behind like my mom. So she couldn't even pay her bill online, right? She couldn't. She didn't know how. And these are just giving them the tools that they need to be successful. So next time I'm hoping that she'll invite me back and then I could actually show you electronic books and some of the resources that we have put in place for your children online because we have done a lot. We've curated a lot of resources to make sure that they can use the databases that are important to get them college and career ready. I'm in a graduate program and I'm almost finished with my second master's at the University of North Texas actually in technology. All right, so next time they invite me back, I will show you some of the things that I've been taught that you can share with your children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because we're starting off a brand new semester, we invited Mr. Santa Maria and Mr. Galindo to kind of give you a message about the importance of attendance. So come on over.
Good morning. Good morning. Buenos días. Back. Happy New Year's. So I'm Mr. Santa Maria, in case you guys don't know me. I'm the attendance coordinator. And I have Mr. Galindo here, who's the athletic dean. And he also helps out with attendance as well. He's in charge of the 9th and 10th graders. We also have Ms. Vaca, who's teaching right now. She's in charge of the 11th and 12th graders. One quick announcement that we wanted to let you know is that it's very important that when your sons and daughters miss school, it's very important that you call in to let us know why they were absent. That way we know that they're not ditching. When a student is absent, it shows up as an A on the computer screen. What that means, we don't know. Sometimes parents don't call. And we're left to think, oh, maybe that student was sick, or maybe that student ditched. And we try to call home and find out, but sometimes it's hard to get into contact with parents. Sometimes parents say, well, who cares? They were absent. Change them all. Well, change all the absences? So were they here or not here? Were they sick? Doctors? It's important. Because if a kid is just saying all the time, oh, I'm sick, I don't feel good, I'm tired, okay, well, let's talk. Let's find out what's really going on. And so the important thing to understand is that a parent, as a parent, you have 1 month to call in to excuse an absence. 1 month. After that month, that absence is going to change to a truancy, meaning that that student was ditching or not in school when they were supposed to be. So as a parent, it's very important to understand that you have 30 days to change it.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to open it up to any general questions you may have about Sweetwater High School or anything you may have. And again, if it's a very particular, specific question about your child, then Ms. Martinez, myself, Ms. Tanner, we're here after coffee with the principal, and we can certainly ask those questions. But if you have any general questions about things that are going on, yes?
What are we supposed to get
Grades.
grades?
So good question, because a couple other people were asking that. So last semester's grades are being mailed home. It seems like they haven't been mailed home yet, but the district is mailing those home this month. I don't know exactly what date. They did say January. Of course, I was hoping more at the beginning of January, but they should still be coming. It should be in the next week or so. But those are something the district is mailing still.
I wish you would have mailed them on the first after they got off whatever they're supposed to.
Right, right.
Because I checked the grade and it went up to my papa, there's discipline in there.
Right, I know.
And I'm behind now.
Especially since we had a 3-week break, or they had a little over 3 weeks. So I know a lot of parents were saying they wish they would have known what the grades are, because then they know, how good of a 3-week break they're going to get or not. So, but unfortunately, the district doesn't mail them out until now. Now, I mean, if you have access to Jupiter grades, I mean, that's a good way to see what their current grade was back in December. But the official grades that will go on the transcripts, those will be mailed out this month by the district.
They would put on the computer, wouldn't they? The grades.
On Jupiter grades? So if you would have checked at the end of the semester, there should have been an updated grade there that would show what their grade was for that class.
I can turn it up.
Okay, right, yeah, most people, they wait for the one that the student brings in, which is usually the progress report, or the one that the district mails, which is the end of the semester report card. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
When we are going to talk about the 12th graders, about all the activities and you always have one meeting for especially for 12th graders.
Right, so when are we going to talk about, so here a coffee with the principal? So there's a couple of things. First, Mr. Salazar and Mr. Santa Maria will be conducting senior presentations this coming week.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. We're
Yes,
gonna be
next
speaking with
week.
all the next week. Yeah, we're gonna be talking with every single senior, letting them know about all the events and the non-privileged list, and making sure that they stay clear so that they can participate in all the events.
And then that's information that I know Mr. Salazar will send home via Jupiter grades as well, or we can make sure we send home. And then at the next coffee with the principal on February, we can do a summary of all the activities that are coming up this semester. So a lot of them are more toward the end, but there's still a lot of things that students have to remember, such as being off the non-privileged list, like if they want to go to prom or grad night.
The prices, the dates.
Yes.
Cap and gown information.
Right.
Cutoff.
Rehearsal date for graduation, graduation day, all of that we'll give out. But the seniors are getting all this information on Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll send something home to the parents in writing, and then I can bring it up again as a summary at the February talking with the principal. So I know it's an exciting time right now, and the time will go by very, very quickly. I know it's January. For students especially, they think, oh, June is so far away. They see it as a long time, but it's not. And especially if there are things they have to do and take care of between now and June, what happens is that they procrastinate, they put things off. Let's say they owe 5 Saturday schools, but they wait until May when there's only 2 more left. You know, sorry, you're ineligible. So it's better if they try to start taking care of was about the FAFSA, and we want to get a better understanding of, do counselors meet with students individually on those, or is it group presentations, or how is that information pushed out to our students?
Yes, that's a great question. Good morning, everybody. My name is, as Ms. Gavin said, is Ms. Arroyo. I'm one of the counselors here at Sweetwater High School. So actually this is perfect because the counselors and I were just meeting yesterday to collaborate on different ways to really get pushing on this last couple months that we have for our students to take care of their FAFSA application that's due March 2nd. So a couple things that we have in mind to get started is, starting on January 22nd, we're going to start holding financial aid workshops after school on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 2:45 to 3:30 in our counseling center. And parents are welcome to come with their students. We have plenty of computers and laptops to help you throughout that financial aid process. We're planning to do that all the way through that March 2nd deadline. The other thing that we have planned, we're excited about, is to really put a big push for our FAFSA with our students in doing our February FAFSA Frenzy. So we're really going to be promoting it on, as Ms. Gavin said, continuing to promote it on our bulletin, on our website, just really getting that information out there for the kids. And we are also looking forward to being able to collaborate with our senior teachers for government and econ, so that we could go into the classroom and really give another push to remind the kids to come in and see us to get that help.